An old man was kicked out of a store for being too poor to buy a gun. They called him the Lost Grandpa. They didn't look closely at the faded cap that read SEAL Team. Didn't know that just an hour later, the entire SEAL team would show up. No yelling, no violence. They just walked in and made the whole store freeze like stone. This isn't a movie. This is one of those veteran stories you won't see on the news. But at Justice for Veterans, we tell them. So this generation understands one thing. When you disrespect a veteran, sometimes you're challenging the entire army that stands behind them. The doorbell jingled dryly. An old man stepped in, messy silver hair, faded military jacket. On his head, an old cap, nearly worn to dust. SEAL Team, UDT 21. He walked with a limp. But his eyes, they did not tremble. He didn't ask for anything. He just stood still, staring at a Moen Garand behind the glass, a rifle from another century. He looked at it like seeing an old friend. After a long moment, he whispered, "You're still here." And just then a mocking laugh rang out from behind the counter. "Hey, Chad, look who wandered in." Grandpa looking for buried treasure? Tyler Briggs, the cashier, chewed gum while squinting at the old man. Chad Dawson chuckled. "Guess he's here to window shop. These things aren't for nursing homes." Bill said nothing. He just bowed his head, gently touching the glass where the Moen Garand lay still. Tyler stepped out from the counter, arms crossed. "Look, old man, this isn't a museum. If you're not buying, kindly move along," Chad added. "Careful not to scratch the glass, or we might think you're robbing us." A moment of silence. Then Bill turned away, slowly. No reaction, no words. And no one in that store realized they had just pushed someone out of their lives forever. The door opened again. No more laughter. Only the wind rustling the bell above the frame. Bill stepped out, worn combat boots scratching softly against the concrete floor. He didn't look back, didn't scold, didn't curse, just his hand, unconsciously tightening around that faded seal cap. Across the street, Emily Harper stood frozen. She saw everything. She didn't cry, but her eyes both heavy and calculating. One man had just walked out, carrying a forgotten history, and one woman was about to walk in, to bring that history back. Emily watched the old man disappear around the corner. The gray sky held its breath, as if bracing for what was to come. She pulled out her phone, dialing a familiar number. The other end picked up almost instantly. She said only 3 words. "He's there now." No further explanation, no names needed, no context required. The other side didn't answer, but she knew. They heard. Emily hung up, gripping her phone tightly, eyes still fixed on the store. Inside, Tyler was laughing, Chad was scrolling, and none of them knew. A movement had begun, not of one man, but of 12 and the legacy they carried. 3:12 p.m. The store was quiet. Tyler propped his feet up, scrolling. Chad chewed gum, bobbing to trap beats. No one remembered the old man they'd kicked out. But outside, the first SUV turned into the street. Tinted windows, an engine growling low, like a beast holding its breath. Then came the second, then the third. 3 SUVs crawling in unison, no honks, no flashing lights. A woman on the sidewalk paused. She took off her sunglasses. Her look said only one thing. Something's about to go down. Inside, Tyler opened his mouth to say something, when the synchronized screech of brakes made the entire store hold its breath. 3 sleek black SUVs stopped at once, engines off. No one stepped out. The air thickened, something was about to erupt. Then, a door opened. One pair of military boots hit the ground. Then another. Then 10 more. 12 men, in plain clothes, but with postures forged from steel. No talking, no wandering glances. Each step deliberate as they walked into the store. The doorbell chimed this time like metal striking earth. Tyler looked up. Chad stopped chewing. They froze, as if something not of this world had just entered. And they were right. It didn't belong here. They didn't spread out, didn't browse, didn't ask for prices. 12 men stood in a crescent, facing the register. The air seemed to lose all its oxygen. Chad swallowed hard. Tyler raised an eyebrow, forcing a grin. Can we help you guys with something? The man in the center stepped forward, built like a bronze statue. Eyes cold, not angry, not rushed. Marcus Hale, current commander of SEAL Team. He locked eyes with Tyler, his voice low and firm. Did someone here just kick an old man wearing a SEAL cap out of this store? Tyler stammered. Yeah, some guy looked like a bum. Marcus cut him off. Then listen very carefully. Marcus stared at the two young clerks. His eyes didn't shake, but his voice carried 1,000 memories. Helmand, Afghanistan. 2009. I was badly wounded, bleeding out, nearly unconscious. Our team was ambushed. No one could make it back. Except for one man. Tyler and Chad didn't move. Marcus reached for his neck, pulling out a small bullet fragment on a chain. He crossed enemy fire, dragging me back inch by inch. I'm alive today, because he didn't leave me behind. The air thickened. Chad stammered. You mean that old guy? Marcus nodded slowly. The man you kicked out is Master Chief William Rourke, a living legend of SEAL Team. One SEAL member stepped forward. He said nothing, just gently took a large worn photo from his pocket and placed it on the counter. A black and white image, tinged yellow with time. 8 young soldiers, body armor on, standing in a desert, their smiles still alive. At the center was Bill Rourke, younger, stronger, but with the same eyes as today. Chad whispered, "That's him." Marcus nodded. You see, some people don't need to speak, because what they've sacrificed already speaks louder than any words. The store went silent. No one asked anything because the truth now stared back at them from the counter. The name William Bill Rourke was no longer a mystery. Another SEAL pulled out a slim folder filled with news clippings, military records, old photos. It read, Vietnam, 1,971. Led SEAL raid to rescue POWs. Panama, 1,989. Held out 3 days alone behind enemy lines. Somalia, 1,993. Last man out during Black Hawk Down. Iraq, 2004. Rescued hostages at night without firing a shot. 38 years of service. 22 special missions. Declared presumed Kia 4 times. And today, he had stood silently before his old rifle. Unrecognized, unwelcomed, unthanked. Now, the stories he once buried were being told for him. Tyler stepped back, shoulders slumped. Chad lowered his head, unable to look at the photo. No one in the SEAL team shouted. No threats were made. No payback. Just silence. A silence that couldn't be argued with, couldn't be erased. Marcus laid his hand on the photo, eyes still locked forward. It's not that you didn't know who he was. It's that you didn't bother to ask. A breeze drifted in through the door. The photo trembled slightly as if reminding them. Then the SEALs turned and walked out, not a single glance back, leaving only the truth and a lesson no one in that store would ever forget. That day, no one in the store spoke, but a customer had recorded the entire event on their phone. Within hours, the video spread across veteran forums. The comments flooded in. I served with him in Iraq. If it weren't for Bill, I wouldn't be alive to write this. News outlets picked it up. TV stations echoed the name, Master Chief William Rourke, the silent warrior who carried a generation. One headline read, You can disrespect a soldier, but don't be surprised when the whole team returns to ask why. And across millions of American hearts, respect returned. Late, but never too late. That old photo still rests on the counter. No one dares move it. No one touches it. It's more than a photo. It's an invisible verdict suspended between ceiling and conscience. In the days that followed, the store grew quieter. Every customer paused at that photo. Some removed their hats. Some whispered, Thank you, Chief. Chad began bowing his head to every elderly visitor. Tyler quit. No one asked why. The store still sells guns, but it's no longer just another shop. It became a living memorial, where one forgotten man made the world remember what mattered most: respect. He didn't need anyone to bow. All he ever wanted was a fair look. But when the world turned its back, his brothers turned around. Not for revenge, but to restore honor in the quietest, most soldier-like way. At Justice for Veterans, we don't tell stories to make you cry. We tell them so you never forget. Because a society is only strong when it respects those who are willing to die for it. So next time you see an old man wearing a worn-out military cap, don't wait until he vanishes from this world. Be the first to stop and say, "We still owe you." And if you believe in that, comment, "Justice for the Forgotten."